Hi, it's Chrissy's Corner for Collectors, and I'm going to do a video on cooking. I'm gonna make Sunday dinner. So I'm gonna do something a little bit harder this time. So if it's something that you're not comfortable with, it's okay. So what I decided to do is a stuffed pork tenderloin. It was $4.99 a pound. It was $12.43. So, but what I'm gonna stuff it with wasn't very expensive. So this clearly would feed a family of 4, maybe 5, but I'm gonna have leftovers for this week, so I'm okay with it. So what did we need? So I'm going to bake it. I'm gonna show you how I cut it and roll it, stuff it, and then bake it, and then we're gonna serve it over some stuffing with some gravy. So I went cheap, man. I'm not making that by scratch. I got too many more important things to do. So I've got salt and pepper, some cranberry sauce I made last year, the pork tenderloin. I have some apples that I sliced. These are Honeycrisp apples. I sliced them just slightly thin, and they're just soaking in water so they don't get brown. I've got some spinach. I've got some asparagus that I already gave it a little bit of a steam. Some chives. And then we're going to use this Boursin garlic and fine herb cheese. So let me get everything ready and I'll show you what we're gonna do. So I opened the tenderloin, I drained it in the sink a little bit, and come to find out there were 2 tenderloins in there. We don't need 2 tenderloins. This will be enough for us, which is great because that $12 meal just turned into a $6 meal. If you were still feeding 4, I would keep them both, but it's just me and Billy, so I'm gonna put the other one back in the freezer. Okay, so let me show you how I'm gonna cut this. And again, if you're not familiar with doing this, you could get pork chops and flatten them out. So what I'm gonna do is gonna make a little incision, not a very big incision, all the way down to the end. Can you see that? And now what I wanna do is probably get a smaller knife, but now I want to start cutting and turning it as we flatten it out. I do put a piece of paper towel on my cutting board just because just easier to clean and a little more sanitary, so you can see how it's starting to get flattened out. I think one more pass will do us. So I've pretty much gotten it to about the same thickness all the way through, but it's not quite done yet. So now what I want to do is I want to pound it a little bit. And again, the paper towel is going to help me with that. So now as I'm flipping it over, I'm seeing this side is still, oh no idea, there we go. So I'm gonna flip it, try to flatten as much as we can out, just like that. I'm gonna put the paper towel back over it. And what you can see is, if you can see, it's a little thicker here in the middle. So we're gonna tenderize that. So I've got my big meat tenderizer. I'm not gonna use this side, I'm just gonna use this side. I just wanna pound it down, and especially in the middle. Sorry for the noise. Okay. and along the edge. Beautiful. Oh, that looks great. Okay. And help protect my cleaver so I can wash it, but I don't have to go crazy washing it. Okay, so I wanted it to be somewhat even all the way around, which I think it is. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is I wanna wash my hands again. So give me just 2 seconds. This Tilly's walking around in the backyard. We're about to get some kind of a storm system, so it's a little windy out there, and I'm kind of surprised that she's out there, quite frankly. Okay, let's season our pork. So I'm gonna put generous helping of pepper and salt. Now I'm going to get open my bourgeois garlic and fine herbs. This is great spread for crackers. It's great to make that Instagram pasta dish, but it's really good for flavoring meat. So I have here a clean knife. And so what I want to do, I want to give this, I want to be able to use what's left over. So I'm just going to kind of take like the top layer off, about that much, and the rest I can save. So I want to start kind of like getting this into the meat. I want to really push it into there. You can do this with your hands if you want to. It's up to you. But I really want to make sure everything is covered. And this is going to give it that savory taste. And then we've got the spinach and the asparagus. I really want to get this spread out really nice and even. It smells really good. Shout out birthday to Apple Martini. Shout out to all the moms this week for Mom's Day. Okay, so let's put some seasonings on it. So there's herbs in there, but I'm going to put a little bit of chives. These are chives from my garden. I'm also going to spoon, for just a little bit of sweetness, some homemade cranberry sauce that I made last year. And I don't want a whole bunch, and I don't want all the liquid. I really want the cranberries. So let's see if I can get that. And I don't want a whole much on there because I'm putting the apples in there too. So, and I'm done with this jar, so the rest of this is out. So you see I just put a little bit on, just give it a little bit of a savoriness, getting all that cheese back on there. And now I want to put some spinach. This is fresh washed spinach. And we're gonna put it all in here. And one more piece right here. Okay. And then the next thing I want to do are the apples. So I'm going to kind of place them just kind of all over. They're going to cook down. Now you could stuff your pork with whatever you wanted to stuff it with. If you wanted to stuff it with barbecue sauce, that'd be fun. And maybe some corn or, I don't know, corn might be fun. Okay, and last is the asparagus. So I'm gonna take the asparagus in like bunches of 5, and I'm gonna place them like that. All the way, single file, all the way. And I'm gonna leave myself just a little bit to have on the side of the plate. Now we're gonna roll this up. Before we roll this up, I'm gonna use one of these pans, and I wanna take some butter, and I wanna put some butter on the bottom of the pan and on the sides. And there's no important way to do it. I'm just doing it like that. Now I'm going to take my pork and I'm going to start to roll it. And there's going to be a big roll. Almost like a burrito, kind of holding in the inside as I go. And the reason I'm cooking it in this pan is I do want to cook from the sides too, because it's a thick piece of meat. So there it is, all rolled up, beautiful. And I'm going to place it in there, just like that. Okay, now I am going to season the outside too, but the outside I'm going to season with this Harvest Blend, which has like garlic and all that, but I want to put a little bit of butter on the top too. Yeah. Now listen, you could do without the butter on the top. That's up to you. I really want it to brown, and I want that to cook all the way through and really baste that meat, because I'm going to cook it mostly in this pan at about 375 for about 40 minutes and then, or 30 minutes, and then I'm going to take it out and put it on a flat pan and kind of broil it a little bit. So with this special, I'm just going to coat it. And that's it. So we're going to cook it. Because the seam is on the bottom, it should stay put. All that inside stuff is going to cook. I'm going to make sure it gets to be 165 before I take it out. And if it's 150, I can take it out around 150, 145 and put it under the broiler for a little bit. So let's see how that turns out. While we're waiting for the oven to come on, get heated up, I want to show you a little life hack that I did. You know that famous coffee place, the one with the mermaid on it? You know who I'm talking about. Well, they have this new blackberry sage lemonade, and I am just in love with it. So I thought what I would do, and I've not tried this yet, is I would make my own version of it. So I know it doesn't have a lot of sage in it. It just has a little, so I'm going to kind of keep it that way. And I don't have all blackberries, so I have some frozen strawberries and blueberries in here. And I'm going to put 2 pieces of fresh sage in there and a little bit of lemonade, and on the bottom is some ice. And I'm not putting a lot of lemonade because I want the ice cubes to kind of pulverize the sage. And we're going to give it a shake. Ready? It smells good. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this, because I don't like my lemonade really, really sweet. And that's, I think, what I liked about their drink, is it's more of a little bit more savory. So now I'm adding, there's ice, and it's about halfway filled with water. And now I'm gonna add regular lemonade, Tropicana, perfect balance. And we're gonna give it another shake. Ooh, that's cold. So yeah, I put 2 leaves of sage in. So we're gonna try it. We might want to add another leaf if we want a little more sagey. So I have another leaf ready. So let's see how it came out. So I think what I want to do I want to strain it? Yeah, let's strain it first. And see how it turned red? Because the strawberries are getting pulverized by the ice. So let's see. You know what? That's freaking ridiculous. Here's the thing. I think I want a little more sage. So we're gonna put this back in here. And I think I want to add a little bit more water. It's still a little bit sweet. I'm amazing. Truly, I am. Okay. Ooh, that's cold. Mama. Now, do I want to keep straining it? I'm not sure. Well, let's strain it a little bit. And then, it's so cold. Just take some of the fruit and ice out. And the sage. This is really good. I'm not lying. Oh, there goes the sage. Okay. Sage, I think I want you to stay in here for a little bit longer. All right. There it is. It almost looks the same. That is really good. It's refreshing. It's not super sweet because I can't drink a lot of super sweet stuff. And it's just delicious. It's just delicious. All right, we did it, kids. Now for the meat. Okay, so I took the stove. The meat is in the oven. I took the stove top and I'm creating it in the bowl. And the reason I'm doing this is we're going to do something just a little bit fancy with these. So I wanted them to be pre-cooked. And then I'll show you what we're going to do with these. Okay, so I took the meat out at 130. It's 130 degrees. And I want you to see what it looks like. It's all in one piece. It's still not to the right temperature, but remember I said I wanted to broil it. So all the juices are on the bottom. And what I'm gonna do is I have some bacon grease left over. And I'm gonna put that on top. I'm gonna let it cook down to the sides while it's broiling. So the oven is now on broil and we're just waiting for it to heat up to the right temperature. And I'm just putting this bacon grease. You could put butter back on it, whatever you wanted to do. But I thought the bacon grease with the pork would be really good. Okay. And I have my cast iron skillet. So this way, the broiling will go down from the top. So we're gonna stick it back in the oven. And then we get a nice brown on it. Now, in the meantime, I told you that I wanted to do something a little special. So remember we pre-cooked the stuffing? You know, I made the mix, not really cook it really, but so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a spoonful, about that much. I need some, I got some parchment paper. And remember, this is just all in my head, so there's not really any kind of recipe to this. So I'm going to take a spoonful of stuffing, stick it into this mold. Just like that. I'm going to pat it down so it's even all the way around. And make these cute little, like, dumpling sausages, and I'm gonna fry them up with some butter. The juice from the pork, I'm gonna add to a can or a jar of gravy, brown gravy. Don't these look really nice? And really, I didn't do anything different. I mean, if you wanted to be a little different, you could probably add maybe some of the chopped apples, whatever apples you had left over to this. But I don't think it really needs anything. And look how easy this, I mean, I made it look easy. And this, if you're having people over, this could be done ahead of time, right? Because we're gonna fry it up. So it looks like I'm gonna get 6 or 7 out of this. Probably 6. Yeah, 6. Could probably had an easier way to make them, but without this little handle, this biscuit thing, but it worked out pretty good. All right, we'll wait for the meat. Okay, so I've got this butter browning a little bit in my pan. I'm gonna turn this down to 5, and I'm gonna take my patties and gently place them in there. And do 3 at a time. We're gonna let them get dark on one side. The meat is done. So I'm gonna have that come out and rest. I'll show you that while this is cooking. I started to plate my asparagus. Let me get the meat out to show you. Onion pots. Nice and brown. And before I slice it, I just want it to rest. And I'm going to check the temperature again, just to be sure that we are cooked through. Oh, looks good. We're good. We're at 155. It's gonna sit for a little bit longer. So the juices all stay in it when I cut it. And now I'm gonna take these and gently, I don't know if this is gonna work, try and flip them just a little. So they have a little brown to them. I think the main thing about these is that you pattern them down kind of thick and hard so they don't crumble on the edges. So give these last 3 a pat. I think that I have the asparagus plated like this. I think what I'm gonna do with these is I'm just gonna kind of put them along the outside, 3 on 1. And then 3 on the other. So plenty of butter still in there. Because I used the parchment paper that I have here, I'll be able to cut the meat on the parchment paper. So that'll be helpful. So I'm going to remove it from here. So you can see if I can fix this so you can see both. There we go. And then in a dish, I have that leftover butter that the meat was in and all the juices, and I'm going to add that to a gravy. Now all we're doing is we're just cooking these up. Remember, they're already cooked, so I'm just kind of giving them a little bit of a browning so they look real pretty. And then I'll show you the final plating. So I'm starting to carve this. Probably could have waited just a little bit longer, but you can see how it's circular. You got the apples, you've got the asparagus, you got the spinach, and then the juices from the meat and the cheese that we spread on there kind of made like a little white sauce in there. It came out really good. And there it is. It looks beautiful. I've already put some asparagus on my plate. I'm gonna take one of these patties. I'm gonna put it kind of to the side like this. Oops, broke it off. Like that. And then I'm gonna take the piece with the most asparagus because I love the most asparagus. And lay that on the side here. Drop some asparagus. And then I used a turkey gravy with the fixins from the when we originally put the meat in. And I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a bath. I don't like it to be over gravy, just enough to cover. And there it is. The unfortunate thing is that Billy had to run to the hospital for his dad. So he'll be eating this later, but I'm gonna eat it right now. Thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed it.